is off the left upright. It's no good. And the Chiefs are going to signal for and be granted another timeout. That's going to leave them with just one remaining here in this fourth quarter. Chiefs are going to make the recovery. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game.
Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by DJ Reed. And the Seahawks are right back in this football game. A seismic shift in momentum here in the fourth quarter. That's the break that the defense needed.
And you know as well as I do, people are going to question the play call in that situation. Sometimes you have to question the execution, not necessarily the call. And in this case, those defenders found a way to give their team a chance.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 15. Throwing to start the drive. Wilson. And this will go to Carson out wide. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
2nd and 7. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Wilson. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this fourth quarter. A good gain on 1st has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. To throw again is Wilson. Dancing to his left. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Frank Clark, his 2nd sack of the night.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
The Seahawks on third down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
53 is the mark. 53. Check 53. 3 ball.
Here's Wilson. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big connection on that one. 34 yards.
We always talk about the guy who paid off the play, don't we? A guy who caught it or ran it. But how about the elements that go into making a big play? This one in particular, able to scan the field, pocket held up nicely. What a terrific job by the offensive line. The route well run, and the football right on the money.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And that nearly a turnover, but it's incomplete. Oh, fortunate to retain possession there, and it's 2nd down.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw is Wilson. They set up the screen to Penny. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I've thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
They'll probably spend a little extra time dissecting the game film after this one. I think the part of their plan was to hit them over the top with the deep ball. They've been unsuccessful all night.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Pete Carroll rolled the dice, but it didn't work out. And the Chiefs' defense comes up with a stop. So now it's left in the hands of their defense to come up with an immediate stop.
And this is where you count on your stars on defense. Can they come up with a game-altering play here? Can they knife through into the backfield and pop the ball free? Can they make that type of a play that gives them...
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. A critical error there in a tight game in the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter what. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Dwayne Eskridge, 38 yards. And the Seahawks are an extra point away from tying this game here in the final minutes. Now the Seahawks face a big 2-point conversion attempt. Throwing now is Wilson. That's caught. And he is in for the 2. I still can't believe they went for it, but they've got themselves a lead here late in the ball game. After the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Take it in at the 3. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Here comes Mahomes and the Chiefs, trailing 14-13. A minute 54 on the clock. They've surrendered a double-digit lead but can rescue themselves late as they come up on first down. Mahomes steps away to his left, and he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at second down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Mahomes. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down. 2-minute drills, they're tough enough, pressure-packed enough, and these elements makes it significantly tougher.
And you don't have the margin where you can say, okay, I can allow for certain things and maybe change up a little bit. Because it's a 2-minute situation, you've got to try and make the same plays you would make if the elements didn't exist.
And this nearly intercepted. Probably should have been. Had he caught it, it would have sealed it. Instead, one more chance coming up on fourth down. Mahomes and the offense staying out there. They'll go for it on fourth. Now Mahomes got to have this one. Connecting with Hill. And some room to roam now. From their own territory, an incredible play on fourth down. On the defensive side of the ball, that's the definition of frustrated. You get them to fourth down, and then you allow a chunk play like that in the passing game.
Almost felt as if that play was drawn up in the dirt on the sideline. They pulled that from a game plan that wasn't this game, and they still made it work.
Mahomes will throw, and this is caught. Touchdown. And they've taken the lead here in the final minute.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
And he is going to lose yardage here.
You know, sometimes the guy on the defensive side of the ball, he just has a good feeling or a good read, and he unleashed his defense on that one. Boy, they stopped him in a big way.
Yeah, I hate to be cliche, but sometimes we overanalyze. They just have more want. Looked like they had more want right there.
More want and more people to the ball.
And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll start things out at the 25. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. One possession game, time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation, having to go downfield, limited timeouts, got to get out of bounds. And
got his man complete. And out across midfield down to the 45. A big play that time through the air. 30 yards. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Now they do indeed get the timeout, so all is not lost. They'll have a chance for one final heave to the end zone. One last shot for Wilson. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And this is incomplete. So no miracles here on the final play. And this ball game is over. Well, Charles, a pretty exhilarating finish to the end of this ball game. At the end, the Hail Mary prayers, though, they went unanswered. Could have won it, but couldn't get it done.
Almost felt schoolyard or playground, didn't it? You know, you remember when you called that play? Everybody just go long and try and find some